지난 시간에 탱클타워 했던 부분 이어서 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 끝내지 못한 그림 화제편이 덜 끝났었죠? 어디까지 했더라? 이 친구가 어디 보자. 피피가 이제 별칭이었고 피오나죠. 피피의 원래 본명은 피피 파피. 피피한테 파피에 대해서 물어볼게요.
Poppy Pointer, age 19, profession. Apparently, Poppy has
직업이
defaced my
없나?
notes. Under profession, I had, of course, originally written pianist.
파피가 제 노트를 훼손한 것 같아요. 원래 직업 밑에 피아니스트라고 적었었는데
But she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
오지 않은 크리스마스의 유령? 다음 페니.
Name, Penelope Pointer, age 27, profession
27밖에 안 돼?
ornithologist.
페넬로페 포인터는 27밖에 안 돼?
Likes, birds, dislikes, insects.
페넬로페 포인터는 곤충을 싫어하네요.
Notes, Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her.
페넬로페 포인터는 곤충을 싫어한다.
Name, Percival Pointer, age 57, profession none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh yes, of course.
퍼시벌 포인터는 직업이 없고
How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
어?
Name, Felix Fellow, age 53, profession none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them
금전적
personal
가치를
value.
지닌 물건 수집. 그리고 그 물건에 본인만의 가치 부여하기. 이거 좀 중요하겠네.
Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence.
싫어하는 것은 인간 존재에 벗어날 수 없는 현실.
Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
펠릭스는 우리 아버지이고 법적 보호자입니다. 펠릭스라고 제가 계속 읽었었는데 필릭스라고 하네요. 필릭스.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No? Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the two possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is
어허.
quite correct.
얘한테 이것저것 물어보는 게 맞나 봐요.
Name, Haksha.
확샤.
Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
확샤는 혼자 있는 걸 좋아하네요. 일단 인물 물어볼 건 다 물어본 것 같고
I
이건
believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
프레야는 이 그림을 통해 무언가를 소통하려고 시도했던 것 같네요.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
그럼 이 그림은 여기에 너도 있는데
There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Haksha,
확시아 그림이랑
and a drawing of
파피
Poppy and Fitz.
파피와 피츠. 그래, 파피와 피츠가 뭐 있다니까. 잠깐. 파피가 몇 살이지? 27이었죠. 페넬로페 몇 살이지?
Name,
아, 아니다. 파피가 19살이고
19. Name,
페넬로페가 27이고 피츠가
Name, Fitzfellow.
24야.
24. Profession, cryptobotanist.
잠깐. 피츠는 피츠한테 페넬로페는 연상이고 피츠한테 파피는 연하네요. 일단 관계가 그렇네. 저는 제가 계속 감이 오는 거는 피츠와 파피와 페넬로페는 삼각관계다라고 계속 연관을 짓고 있거든요.
A chalkboard.
Is this a library or a classroom?
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
뭔지 모르겠어.
I'm sure I learned anything from that.
자, 이제 어디를 갈지 볼까? 포인터 교수와 얘기해야 해. 포인터 교수라면 천문학자? 아니 근데 얘 좀 수상해요. 얘가 별을 관찰하는 게 아니라
Every astronomy tower needs
I want to try.
여기를 보고 있단 말이에요.
Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
이렇게 자체가 고정되어 있대. 얘기해보죠. 프레야.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also
아주
highly
총명했다.
intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth.
그녀는 지구상에 좀 더 실제적인 것들에 관심을 가졌던 것 같아요.
My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at 탱클타워 as long as she did.
히피.
Ah, yes, the heiress of 탱클타워. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes
탱클타워
charge.
상속인?
I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
피츠.
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father Flint is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think
되게
anybody knows what
싫어한다.
happened to him,
피츠를.
but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
뭐야, 피츠를 되게 안 좋아하네. 보니까. 뭐를 보여줘야 이 사람이 관심을 보일까? 초상화? 프레야의 그림.
These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
이거는
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like?
이게 당신한테는 어떻게
To me,
보입니까?
it's a big red thing.
큰 빨간
Fascinating
무언가.
interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind
이
from decaying.
탱클타워라는 공간 안에서 이 가문이 참
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
얘한테 물어볼 건 다 물어본 것 같아요. 다음은 포인터 교수와 얘기해야 해. 얘하고 뭔 얘기를 더 하지? 뭔가 더 있나? 초상화?
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar.
칼 묻은, 피 묻은 칼 자체가 아주 저급하다. 네 개의 깃털?
I think you may wish to adjust your threat.
일단 다 얘기해볼까? 비밀 일기장.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary.
일기장처럼 보여요. 황금 딱정벌레.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of 탱클타워. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
왜, 뭐야, 뭘 숨기고 있나? 암개.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
뭐야, 이 황금 딱정벌레에 대해서 뭔가 뭐 없나? 찢어진 사진.
What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
아버지는 알고 있는 거야. 얘가 파피였죠.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. That's rather a small cage for three birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
아, 뭘까?
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
죽음기?
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical.
언제나처럼? 이 정도면 얘기 다 한 거 아니야?
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits.
포인터의 천문 관측 습관 말인데
Something suspicious.
뭔가 수상해.
Let's ask him about it.
와, 혐의가 드디어 나오는구나. 얘 좀 수상하죠, 확실히.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
천문학에 무엇이 그렇게 흥미로우십니까?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
당신은 사실 천문학에 전혀 관심이 없습니다. 당신은 한 유성이 지구로 곧장 날아오는 걸 알아냈습니다. 당신은 당신의 이름을 딴 행성을 찾고 있어요. 제가 봤을 땐 천문학에 전혀 관심이 없어 보여요.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
내 생각에 당신은 살짝 다른 연구 분야에 관심이 있습니다. 그게 뭐겠어요? 황금 딱정벌레겠죠. 황금 딱정벌레? 저도 저 지붕 컷이 되게 계속 신경 쓰여요. 지붕 컷.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
말이 많아지는 걸 보니까 전곡을 찔렀나 본데요. 상상 불가능하게 크고 상상 불가능하게 먼 곳에 집중되어 있습니다.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
그래서 망원경 보는 걸 그렇게 좋아하시죠?
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
그것 때문에 그러는데요. 포인터의 망원경이 보고 있던 것은 어디야? 범죄 현장이며 하늘을 보고 있는 게 아니었다.
Pointer's telescope was sneaking up on the crime scene and not up at the sky. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
하나만 바꿔보래. 엿보고 있던 것은 실제로 보고 있던 것은 포인터의 망원경이 실제로 보고 있던 것은 범죄 현장이며 하늘을 보고 있는 게 아니었다.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of what? Spying?
근데 망원경이 그걸 알려주고 있는데요.
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
훔쳐보고 있던데?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's you.
플로라를 보고 있던 게 아니라 프레아를 애초에 보고 있던 거였어.
It's a very precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder.
오케이.
Did you witness the crime,
이게
Professor?
가장 중요하죠. 당신은 범죄를 목격했습니까, 교수님?
No, I didn't.
그게 말이 돼?
When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
프레야가 누워있는 게 아니고 플로라가 바닥에 누워있는 상태였대요.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window.
프레야가 아니고?
I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
진짜 수상하네, 이 지붕 컷. 나. 다들 어서오세요. 반갑습니다. 지금 하고 있는 것은 탱클타워 전편 이어서 녹화하면서 플레이 중입니다.
Apart from the reason
오늘
you
엔딩
left your
볼
tower in the first
생각이에요.
place.
Right.
Freya was definitely up to something.
프레야는
Something to do with the statue
무언가
in the
쫓고
garden, I think.
있었어. 정원에 있는 그 동상이랑 연관이 있는 것 같아.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
정원으로 가자. 이런 게 있었나?
This wasn't here before.
이건 아까 없었는데?
What is it?
주워보자.
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
작은 나무 장난감이야. 개처럼 생겼는데?
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say?
얘 쪽지가 붙어 있어. 왜 그래?
Grimoire?
제 새로운 친구입니다. 음악을 좋아하죠. 단순한 선율은 그의 영혼을 감동시킬 겁니다. 불에게 행운을 빕니다. 프레요? 프레요? 어?
What do you think? Is it really from her?
정말 그녀에게서 온 쪽지일까?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
일기장에서 손글씨를...
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
프레야 글씨랑 똑같대요.
it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
와, 뭐지? 끝나지 않은 사건. 좋네요. 이제 여기서부터 진짜 시작인가 보다. 일단 음악실에서 무슨 멜로디가 들리지 않았어? 음악실로 가보래요. 여기가 음악실 맞지? 뭘 해야 될까? 음악실에서 무슨 멜로디가 들리지 않았어? 무슨 멜로디? 악보? 다시 쳐달라고 해보자.
Yeah, it's mine.
선율을 들려줄 수 있나요?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
이거랑 관련 있을까? 약간 그거 같이 생겼어요. 메타몽. 피아노는 요렇게 바뀌네요. 걔가 음악을 기억해주네. 그러면 또 어디 있었지? 방금 메타몽 같이 생겼었죠. 피피와 얘기해야 해. 힌트가 그래도 어디를 가야 되는지 알려줘서 막힘이 없을 것 같아요. 피피한테는 뭘 물어봐야 되지?
Who is this her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next!
뭐야? 피피와 얘기해야 해. 뭘? 뭘 얘기해야 되지?
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues.
뭘 얘기해야 되지?
An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
Oh.
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere.
어? 이 얘기를 들었어야 했나? 맞아? 그렇네. 페니와 얘기해야 해. 페니 페넬로페죠. 그럼 이걸 페넬로페한테 보여주면?
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it?
파피의 악보치고는 좀 단순하지 않나요?
Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
12학년이 치는 곡치고는
I didn't know there were that many grades.
12학년이라고 읽는 거 맞나요?
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
오로지 그녀를 위해서.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
이 새들은 당신 소유인가? 왜 새장에 가둬두죠?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they
그냥
have names?
얘는 새를
Of
좋아하나?
course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
에? 새한테 이름이 있네요. 타바타, 타마라, 타티아나. 다 타로 돌리네.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
누가 누구라고요?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
타마라는 리듬 센스가 가장 좋은 애.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
당신 머리 위에 있는 새는요?
He's just my hat.
이건 그냥 모자래요.
He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
아! 새도감.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one? It was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at 탱클타워.
멸종했다고 알려졌는데 탱클타워에서 한 마리가
So
발견됐다.
it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
깃털 물어봤었는데
There used to be all kinds of birds here at 탱클타워. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
얘 자체가 새 같아요. 이 옷부터가.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
그렇게 해서 뭔가 뭐 얘기가 나왔던 것 같은데. 아, 프레야에 대해서 물어보자.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds.
아침에 제일 먼저 새장에 앉아 새를 그렸죠.
Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
가끔 새들의 이름을 묻기도 했어요.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names.
새의 이름만 알고 싶어 했다?
Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting.
21살 생일 때 그림을 액자에 넣어줬어요.
All the birds from a single spring.
물가의 모든 새들을 그려서.
I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
뭐야? 헬로라.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told.
어? 헬로라는 조류 전문가래요.
Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
엥? 친구면 친구지 조금은 뭘까요?
A little bit friends.
조금 친구?
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
필릭스?
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
재밌네. 정신 차리고 제대로 보면서 하니까.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, I mean, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
종종 무시를 당하며 사나 봐요. 포인터.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You won't believe I memorized it.
자, 그럼 본인에 대해서.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
왜 저래? 확시야.
She's a most unsavory little.
와, 엄청 불쾌한 티 팍팍 내주네.
Which part? The giant bird arms or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why
그거
him?
왜?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did you not know that?
아니요, 이건 알고 있었죠. 포인터가 고용한 거란 걸. 자, 그러면은
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
페니의 방에서 찾은 그 꽃잎? 장미꽃잎?
Let's ask her about it.
좋아요. 혐의가 나왔네.
So, yeah, we
Yeah?
found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room.
당신은 종이에 이제 내가 그녀를 이라고 적은 뒤 방에 숨겼어요.
That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
이건 빨간 장미의 꽃잎이죠. 튤립? 튤립이 있었나? 장미였나 튤립인가? 장미였던 것 같은데.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tango Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses and who they belong to.
저기 피츠. 그러니까 이 화분의 꽃이랑 이 화분의 꽃이랑
That almost makes sense, but it's not right.
답이 아니야? 어? 이거 같은데요? 이거 원래 파피 거였구나. 피츠가 빨간 장미를 들고 있다. 그러면은
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden.
피츠와 파피의 그림이에요. 둘이 옥상 정원에 있는.
See what Fitz is holding?
피츠가 들고 있는 거 보이죠?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter.
질투했나봐. 질투해서 그 장미를 잎사귀를 다 뜯어낸 거예요.
I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room.
거긴 피츠의 방과 파피의 방에서만 들어갈 수 있어요.
How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
출입할 수가 없는 정원에서 제가 뭘 어떻게 가져왔겠어요? 새를 보내면 안 되나?
From those two bedrooms.
정말 그 두 침실에서만 출입할 수 있나?
For most people, it would be.
인간들에겐
But don't forget,
그렇지.
Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
자, 뭘까? 어... 와, 이거 헷갈린다. 자, 페니는 어떻게 그리고 왜 옥상 정원에 가려고 했을까? 페니의 꽃은 선물이었다. 선물을 받은 건 하피와 피츠이며 아니야, 이거 아닌 것 같아. 아니 이거 좀 어렵다. 페니의 새 중 한 마리는 무언가를 엿보는 데 사용되었다. 바로 파피와 피츠. 이며 그들에게서 증거를 훔쳤다? 옥상 정원에 가려고 한 이유. 어서 오세요. 뭘까? 좀 전에 왔어요. 이게 핵심이거든요. 페니는 어떻게 그리고 왜 옥상 정원에 가려고 했을까? 어떻게? 페니의 꽃은 선물이었다. 는 아닌 것 같고 이건 아닌 것 같아. 무언가를 엿보는 데 사용되었다. 이 새들 중 한 마리. 그리고 파피와 피치며 그들에게서 장미를 훔쳤나?
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them.
맞네.
We know those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
그 둘이 옥상 정원에서 뭘 하고 있는지 본인은 갈 수 없었기 때문에 새를 보낸 거예요.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that.
근데 페넬로페와 피츠는 그니까 피츠는 페넬로페의 약혼자라 했거든요.
Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
우리는 타바타라고 하지 않았는데요.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
그들 중 한 마리가 옥상 정원에 있었다는 걸 증명할 수 있는 날개? 아, 날개란다. 깃털? 4개의 깃털? 깃털.
Let's take a closer look at these.
얘를 남긴 거. 타바타가 누구야? 아니, 이 노란 깃털을 남긴 것은 옥상 정원을 방문했을 때이다? 페니의 노란새가?
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
어떻게 맞췄지?
I can't stand it! Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden.
질투 안 한다며.
I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
당신이 좀 과민 반응하는 거 아닌가요?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell.
삼각관계가 맞구만.
I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
일단 엄청 지금 중요한 사실을 알았죠. 예상하고 있던 대로 둘은 삼각관계였어. 파피는 19살이고 페넬로페는 27살이란 말이에요. 근데 피치는 24살이었어. 지금 연상 연하와 이제 남자 한 명을 두고 연상 연하가 지금 삼각관계인 거예요. 그럼 이거는 얘한테 따져야 되나? 포인터한테는 뭐 안 물어봤네?
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy
천문탑에
tower
자주
too
방문할 것
often,
같진
do you?
않은데 맞나요?
No, but I still see Pointer sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse.
포인터는 온실에서 기르는 것을 언제나 궁금해한다.
Asks me about the birds too, and insects.
곤충에 대해서도 물어보고.
He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
교영님 어서 오세요. 얘한테 물어볼까? 물어볼 게 이거겠죠?
Fitz, one of these drawings is of you in the rooftop garden, I think,
옥상 정원에 당신과 파피가 있네요.
with Poppy.
그치?
Are we done?
뭐야? 뭐 이렇게 당당해? 여기가 아닌가? 너무 당당한데? 어디로 갈지 볼까요? 플로라의 탑에서 무슨 멜로디를 듣지 않았어? 아! 메타몽한테 그 음을 기억하러 갑시다. 들어보자. 뭐였지? 이건가?
It's piano music.
이건 아닌 것 같고 이거였나?
Weird.
이상하네.
It's someone humming a tune.
누군가 음에 맞춰 흥얼거리는 소리야. 자, 콧노래는 이렇게 바뀌었네요. 기. 자, 그러면은 맨 처음에 우리 왔던 곳에 새들도 멜로디가 있었거든요. 여기 자, 새소리 하나만 더 입력하면 돼.
It's a garden, I think.
We could.
Ready when you are.
멜로디 하나가 어디 있더라? 짹짹짹짹짹짹짹.
Where's that light coming
It's
from?
just daylight. There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
여기는 저번에 봤었죠.
Is that what I think it is?
우효, 우효.
머리만 빼꼼하는 있는 카알님은 탱글탱글.
탱글탱글 오르티아님 10비트 영원 감사합니다.
Is that what I think it is?
여기가 지금 살인 현장 쪽에 이 다락방에서 살인 현장 쪽으로 바로 갈 수 있는 그 틈이 있거든요. 여긴 저번에 한번 봤었고, 얘인가?
It's another little statue.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing.
Well, they're not part of the statue. And they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
옹상의 머리에 귀마개가 쓰여져 있다. 이게 다야.
Giant stone frog.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
그래, 이 깃털은 노랑과 초록 깃털이 페니의 노랗고 초록인 새 타바타에게서 떨어졌다. 힌트를 보죠. 히피와 얘기해야 해. 무슨 얘기? 더 얘기할 게 있나? 아, 세도감.
Do you know who was reading this book?
이거 누가 읽던 책인지 아십니까?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
어머니의 책이에요.
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
뭘까? 뭔 얘기를 해야 될까? 작은 렌즈?
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
응?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh, yes. It has a telescopic lens.
망원경이래요.
It could only be used for looking at things that are far away.
뿔피리 동상.
Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
파피가 왜 이 동상에 유리 조각을 남겼을까요?
What makes you think
왜
it was
파피가 한
Poppy?
짓이라고
The
생각해요?
statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be?
이건가? 파피한테 물어봐야 되나?
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting.
그림 속의 플로라 이미지 말인데
Something suspicious.
뭔가 수상해.
Let's ask her about it.
와, 드디어 얘랑
There's
말할
something
수 있나?
about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope.
학샤의 휴대용 현미경 말이야. 그건 망원경이었다는 거지.
Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
나중에. 혐의.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand,
특히 플로라의 손에 있는 그 칼.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room.
하지만 방 어디에서도 칼을 찾지 못했어.
So what's going on?
그래서 이건 칼이 아니야.
it's not a knife. We need a clue to compare
그림과
the
비교할
painting.
단서가 필요해.
Something to explain what that knife
칼
shape
형체가 실제로는
actually
뭔지
is.
설명할 수 있는 거. 우린 깃털이라고 할 수 있겠죠? 이게 약간 닮지 않았어요? 이 새가? 좀 더 볼까? 4개의 깃털. 이거는 잘 모르겠어. 솔직히 난 이거 같아. 색칠된 조각상? 오종삽? 오종삽은 전혀 빨간색이 묻어있지 않거든요. 이거랑 제일 닮았어. 이 빨간색으로 묻은 요거. 얘를
I'll
하고
get to that in a minute.
얜 나중에 하지. 왜? 얘랑 닮았잖아. 깃털인가?
That kinda makes sense, but no.
오종삽?
That kinda makes sense, but no.
아니래. 뭐지? 붓과 팔레트?
That's not it.
그러면은 화분의 꽃?
That's not it.
설명할 수 있는 게 뭘까? 이거요? 조각상에 들고 있는 이 칼?
That's not it.
이거 유리 조각인가 설마?
That's not it.
아니 없는데 그러면 빨간 밧줄?
That's not it.
다 아닌데? 꽃!
That's not it.
뭐야? 사진이요? 초상화? 이거?
That's not it.
없는데? 초상화 속 칼처럼 생긴 물체에 대해 설명할 수 있는 것. 아! 진짜! 색깔로 따지면 편지. 근데 반대인데요?
That's not it.
아이, 아니래. 뭐지? 이거를 설명할 수 있는 게 이건가?
That's not it.
없는데 설명할 수 있는 게?
That's not it.
그림을 찍은 사진 어디? 이거요?
That's not it.
어디? 또 악물?
That's not it.
아니 뭐야 되는 게 없어. 근데 나갈 수도 없어요. 세도감? 어디? 어?
Let's take a closer look at this.
아! 이거? 아, 새 도감에 아. 그려진 칼은 실제로는 얼룩새의 것이다.
The painted knife is actually
와, 새 도감일 거라고는 상상을 못했어요.
It's definitely the right
모양은
shape.
확실히 맞아. 아, 난
The
이걸
book's
못
not in color.
봤어.
The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically.
저도 새의 깃털이라는 거는 예상을 했는데 새 도감에 이런 그림이 있다는 거는 못 봤어요, 제가.
Is there anything to suggest that the ink-dip bird is red and white too?
책 속에 얼룩새도 빨갛고 하얀색이라는 걸 보여주는 무언가가 있을까? 이거?
This little thing?
이
I
작은
don't
거?
understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora.
와, 펠릭스가 플로라에게 주는 선물에 왜 이 새의 모형을 만들었는지 모르겠어. 아니, 저희가 속어법을 썼잖아요. 근데 그렇게 계속 이제 추리를 하면서 그나마 눌렀던 게 다 틀리고 도감만 남은 것도 신기함.
And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
저희는 정확히 저도 그렇고 여러분도 그렇고 새 도감일 거라는 걸 완전히 배제하고 계속 얘기를 한 것도 되게 신기해요, 지금. 그림 속의 플로라는 어째서 깃털을 손에 들고 있는 걸까? 얼룩새는 플로라의 애완동물이었다. 그래서 기억하기 위해서 깃털 한 대를 기억하기 위해서
the ink-dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
왜냐면 아까 페미가 그랬어요. 플로라도 조류 애호가라고.
Maybe it flew away.
그리고 펠릭스는 그걸 알고 선물 주려고 조각을 만든 거예요. 이미 그 새가 어떤 의미인지 아니까.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
그치.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
그녀에게 꽤 중요했던 것 같아.
Alright, so she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now?
그건 지금 어디 있지?
You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally, this is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
이게 바로 플로라가 평소 그녀의 깃털을 보관하는 곳이야. 이 알 아닐까요? 어딨어? 속이 빈 알.
Thought we opened it. It's empty.
비어 있었어.
Completely
완전히
empty.
비어 있어. 뭔가 말을 하려고 하는 건가?
Flora?
플로라?
She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
말은 전혀 안 하는 거야?
It's just a pile of books. They're not. Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
어? 어? 당신을 위한 거예요. 사랑합니다, 프레야. 응? 플로라와 작은 새를 그린 그림인데 당신을 위한 거예요. 사랑합니다, 프레야라고 되어 있네. 뭐야?
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
일단 이 망원경도 수상했죠. 일단 여기 먼저 가보고. 혐의를 다
This little
알아야겠어요.
microscope thing?
여기 이 소형 현미경.
You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're
망원경이잖아요.
such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
뭐였지? 학샤는 뭘 찾기 위해 고용됐을까? 피치와 뜯어본 편지? 이건 아닌 것 같고. 망원 렌즈라고 했다. 망원 렌즈? 뭔가를 관찰하기 위해서인 것 같은데 그거는 딱정벌레? 포인터는 희귀한 딱정벌레를 한 마리 소유하고 있었는데 최근에 잃어버렸다. 그는 누군가 훔쳐간 거라고 믿는다. 그래서 피츠를 조사하고 있었나?
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
와우.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
네, 피츠를
Well, Fitz
조사하고
said you
있었어.
questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
그녀가 온실에서 현미경을 사용하지 않은 게 사실인 건 확실해. 이건 현미경이 아니야.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
우린 이게 망원경이라는 걸 알고 있죠. 휴대용 현미경이 휴대용 현미경을 쓰는 것은 PP에 따르면 망원 렌즈고 뭐야? 잠깐만. 휴대용 현미경의 일부는 망원 렌즈고 거짓말을 한 것이다? 이게 망원경이라는 거를 학샤는 알고 있는 건가?
The handheld microscope is a part almost. Maybe just change one thing.
설마 학샤는 이 현미경이 진짜 현미경인 줄 알고 있었나?
The handheld microscope is a part of a telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw, nope.
이게 사실은 현미경이 아니라는 것을 믿어야 할 이유. 뭘까? 현미경을 쓰는 건 PP에 따르면 망원 렌즈 PP에 따르면 이건 망원 렌즈라 그랬고 학샤는 솔직했다.
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. Almost. Maybe
하나만 바꿔보라고? 하나? 현미경의 일부는 망원 렌즈. 뭐야? 현미경과 망원 렌즈는 맞다는 거지. 이거랑 이거면은
the handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens. So Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
잠깐. 학샤가 거짓말을 한 게 돼버리네. 그러니까 저는 학샤가 현미경인 줄 알고 썼는데 그러니까 문제가 잘못됐네. 현미경한테는 문제가 있었다. 그 이유는 이래갖고 나는 그 문제를 학샤는 모르고 있는 건 줄 알았거든요. 근데 알고 거짓말한 거구나.
Aksha, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
은하계 황제요.
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one.
학샤는 오히려 천문학자가 꿈이었구나.
At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me. And so, I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento from my childhood.
Hmm?
Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope. An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
뭐? 어째서?
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at 탱클타워. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed.
되게 똘똘했구나, 프레야가.
I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
아, 플로라는?
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
잠을 잘 안 자?
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave 탱클타워 first.
Quite.
혜니.
I find her rather embarrassing, little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
피츠.
I'll say this, he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable, but she has no ambition, no focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
자. 사건을 정리해 봅시다. 머리 아프다. 범죄 현장.
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
프레야는 자기가 그린 그림에 찔렸을까? 프레야는 칼에 찔렸나? 그림에는 왜 피가 있었을까? 물감통의 피는 피 묻은 칼을 연상시킨다. 그러니까 물감통의 피는 무언가를 덧칠 하는 데 사용됐다. 얼룩새의 깃털. 그래서 이것은 피 묻은 칼을 연상시킨다.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
물감통의 물감인가? 피가 아니고 물감인가?
Paint from the paint pot was
아닌가 봐. 피는 어디서 묻은 걸까? 또 어떻게 사용됐을까? 그러면 물감통의 물감과 뒤바뀐 것은 물감통의 피? 는 아닌 것 같고. 물감통의 피는 그림에 사용됐다. 끝이 빨간 얼룩새의 깃털은 피 묻은 칼을 연상시킨다.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the
Okay.
painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right.
응?
Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
왜?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
누가?
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know.
플로라가 말을 안 하니까
The door was locked the whole time.
문은 계속 잠겨 있었어.
It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside.
보통 문은 안에서 밖으로만 열려. 그래서 피츠가 문을 걷어차고 들어왔죠.
Said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope.
포인터는 그의 망원경으로 프레야를 볼 수 없었다고 했어.
But he did see Flora lying by the window.
하지만 그는 플로라가 창문가에 누워있던 걸 봤어. 이게 이상해. 멀쩡하게 서 있다가 얘가 왜 누운 거야?
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
칼이 없었다면 프레야를 찌른 건 뭐지?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
자신의 그림과 완벽히 일직선상으로 바닥에 등을 대고 쓰러졌어. 그럼 진짜 누가 봐도 그림이 찔렀다고 볼 수밖에 없죠.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over?
프레야가 쓰러지기 전에 칼에 찔린 건지 우리가 어떻게 알아?
Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
와, 어떡해요? 점점 복잡해지네? 어디로 가야 돼? 페니? 뭐야? 호상화?
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling.
프레야가 의도한 것 같진 않지만 전반적인 효과가 조금 거북해요.
Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her.
이것도 보여줄까? 플로라의 그림?
It's that bird.
그 새는?
But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
보종사!
Oh, did Fitch show you that?
어?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
이 모종삽을 알고 있는 걸로 봐서는 이 피피는 페넬로페 포인터인가 봐요.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it?
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
아, 얘는 그러면은 피츠는 좋아하지만 친구를 좋아하는 건 아니구나.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
얘는
I
파피인데?
can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
아는 것 같은데?
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
왜? 미치겠군.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
뭘 더 물어봐야 돼? 화분의 열매?
Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
물어볼 만한 건 다 물어본 것 같은데 이거
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower.
피츠가 포인터 탑에 올라간 것에 대한 보고 말인데
Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
지금 가자. 모든 사람의 혐의를 다 들어야 되나 보다.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer
당신이
Tower.
포인터 탑에 몰래 올라가는 걸 봤다는 사람이 있다.
A knife.
칼을 든 채.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
뭘까? 피피는 목이 덜 풀렸나? 피피는 피츠를 정말로 봤어. 하지만 그는 칼이 아닌 다른 걸 들고 있었지로 해볼까요?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
칼이 아니었다면 대체 뭐였지? 피츠가 가지고 다닌 것으로 피피가 칼이라고 착각한 건 4개의 깃털? 아니 깃털 참 많이 나온다. 모종삽? 모종삽인가?
What about this?
이건 어떻습니까?
That.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental.
설마
I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
이걸 포인터 탑에 들고 갈 이유가 없습니다. 쓰지 않거든요. 자, 피츠가 모종삽을 들고 포인터 탑으로 가야 할 이유를 모종삽은 피츠가 무언가를 돌보는 데 사용했다. 바로 화분의 열매. 정원에서. 파피를 돌보는 데 사용했다? 이거를?
An ornate trowel is used by
아,
fish.
근데
Now,
포인터 탑에 피츠가 가야 할 이유. 모종삽은 무언가를 묻기 위해 사용됐다. 바로 깃털 한 대를 정원에서?
an ornate. That's not right.
피츠는 포인터 탑의 어딘가에 있는 식물을 돌봐줘야 하나? 화분의 열매를 온실에서.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after. That's not right either.
아 왜? 아 피츠의 방에서? 하피의 방에서? 어... 그러니까요. 파피의 방에 이 꽃이 있었나?
An ornate trowel.
아니야.
That's not right either.
아니면 이 꽃? 아! 이게 어디 있었지? 화분의 꽃이 정원에 있었나 온실에 있었나? 정원이었던 것 같은데.
An ornate trowel.
온실인가?
Almost. Maybe just. An ornate almost.
이거 페니의 꽃이라 그랬죠? 그럼 페니의 방에선가?
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
어려워. 어쨌든 이 모종삽을 쓰긴 했다는 거지.
That flower.
Yes?
I've never seen it before.
엥?
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
이 꽃과 비교할 단서가 필요해. 이것과 피치와의 연관성을 입증할 수 있는 것. 온실에서의 흙이겠지. 화분의 열매, 화분의 꽃. 피치는 이 푸른색 흙으로 그의 모든 식물을 키운다. 그러면은 여기도 푸른색 저기 있거든요, 흙이? 이거를 모를 리가 없겠지.
Let's take a closer look at these.
잠깐. 이 흙이 일치한다는 거를 말해주고 싶은데. 흙과 흙인가요?
The pot
아, 그렇네.
matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's
정답을
greenhouse.
알고 있는데.
Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
그렇네요. 진짜, 진짜다. 페니같이 생겼다. 지금 보니까.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants.
알고 있구나. 물도 제대로 안 주고 관리를 안 한다는 거를 알고 실망한 거야.
So I go into her room every now and again when she's not there. Water the flower, change the soil, just trying to keep it alive.
선물로 저렇게 색깔까지 신경 써가면서 닮은 꽃을 선물했는데 아까 그랬죠. 페넬로페는 이 행동이 저급하다. 식물을 돌보는 것은 저급하다. 이러고 그래서 페넬로페를 싫어하게 된 거구나. 근데 파피는 달랐죠. 파피는 식물을 좋아했어. 아무래도 본인이랑 같은 취향을 가진 사람한테 더 끌리는 게 정문에서 무슨 멜로디가 들리지 않았어? 정문? 종? 초인종은 또 이렇게 변했네요.
That's all four melodies, I think.
4개의 멜로디를 모두 모았어.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
Yes. 이건가?
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now.
이제 이걸 풀 수 있을 것 같아. 헷갈린다. 종과 피아노와 새?
Looks like he's playing a semi-grand pedal harp.
You some kind of harp expert, Sally?
Did you not know? I had a harp when I was a kid. A little handheld one, only 8 strings.
Liar.
It's the truth, I swear.
연주를 어떻게 하는 거지? 이게 뭐지? 기둥 부분을 회전할 수 있어. 잉크로 된 모양이 단서야. 똑같이 만들으라는 건가? 이렇게?
That's gotta be right.
Nothing.
반응이 없어.
Maybe it's broken.
Wait,
Wait.
do you hear that?
엥?
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
밑으로 가자. 뭐죠? 지하? 와, 이게 뭐야? 실험실?
What's in there?
그 안에 뭐가 있어? 깜짝벌레.
It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
딱정벌레를 실험하고 있는 곳인가?
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean.
Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal. It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold.
뭐야?
A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms.
금이간 유리통에 작은 방이 9개 있어.
Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside. I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms. Forensic Entomology.
법
Volume 3.
곤충학 3권.
That's an incredibly specific area of study.
Is that a lab coat?
실험 가운?
Warning, hand wash only. Size, small.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking safe.
뭐죠?
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
열쇠를 중앙으로 움직일 수 있을 거야. 열쇠가 올바르게 자리 잡을 때까지 대각선으로 밀어봐. 이게 뭐야? 아니. 아니 이게 뭐야? 뭔가 될 것 같아요. 아닌 것 같아요. 띠띠띠띠. 살려줘. 이게 딴딴딴딴딴 따단. 따다다다단딴 딴따 따 되게 시간을 좀 주세요. 딴. 에? 아니야. 여기 여기까지는 맞는 것 같은데 이 위에서 연결이 안 되네? 여기랑? 여기랑 여기 이렇게 이거 같은데 이 상태에서 이렇게 내려? 이쪽으로 갈 수도 있어. 아닌가? 여긴가? 이렇게? 딴. 조금만 땡겨. 아니야. 여기까지? 여기까지? 딴.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad.
오! 오, 여기도 빨리 감기로 돌려버려야겠어.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
뭐지? 우리 고유의 동식물은 아직 알려지지 않은 수많은 화학물질의 부산물이다. 이 화학물질은 물속에 끊임없이 존재하며 구름을 형성하고 호수를 채운다. 이것은 식물과 동물의 다양한 돌연변이를 일으킨다. 어미류, 곤충, 연체동물, 양서류 및 갑각류와 같은 작은 생물이 가장 큰 영향을 받는다. 그러나 화학물질은 먹이 사슬을 따라 올라가서 새와 파충류에게도 돌연변이를 일으킬 수 있다. 돌연변이?
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
와, 이건
That's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
이 부분에 빠져 있는 것은 이거겠죠? 황금 딱정벌레.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
포인터의 실험실이라고? 아,
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who's he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
포인터는 아니다. 포인터는 무언가로부터 숨어 있었다. 무언가로부터는 아닌 것 같고. 포인터는 프레야를 죽이기 위해 계획해왔다? 너무 지금 갑자기 확 근데 그렇게밖에 안 되는데? 지금 보니까 포인터는 프레야를 죽이기 위해 계획해왔다. 바로 아닌가? 아이씨. 포인터는 딱정벌레를 번식시키려고 했다. 지하 실험실에서.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why?
왜?
Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. That might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure. But
그럼
not
뭐야?
naive.
프레야가
I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
맞아. 가장 아래층.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
어린이용 책이라고? 하늘과 바다의 미스티드, 얼룩새, 은뱀, 영혼 전달자, 양서구리. 설마 이거 저 얼룩새는 돌연변이었나?
Too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
금속 막대. 누군가 이것으로 사진을 찔렀다. 막대의 끝은 마치 화살이나 시계바늘처럼 뾰족하고 구부러졌다. 뒤쪽에는 짧은 길이의 빨간 밧줄이 연결된 작은 고리가 달려있다. 금속은 완벽하게 깨끗하고 광택이 난다.
So what's the photo?
사진 속에는 한 소녀가 있다. 그 옆에는 큰 남자가 앉아있다. 그 주위로 빨갛고 하얀 새 몇 마리가 있다. 금속 물체가 사진을 찌른 상태이다. 남자의 가슴 근처에 구멍이 나 있다.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
어렵다, 어려워. 수상한
This
사진.
man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
이거?
That's not right.
아니라고? 사진 속 남사를 남사? 남자를 묘사한 것. 초상화.
That's not right.
아니야? 아, 여기 이 옆에 이 아저씨. 큰 어깨를 가진 남자의 형상.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
이 남자가 필로우경이겠지.
Lord Fellow.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Felix made a little model of him
엥?
for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
아, 레밍턴인가? 왜냐면은 플로라와 레밍턴 사이에서 아니야, 포인터는 아닐 거야.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
그러면 플로라한테 아버지 사진을
Let's
보여...
not wander off right now.
지금은 돌아다니지 말자는데요? 뭐지?
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
여기 어디야?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a
이
room
방에
with one candle?
빛이 얼마나 많은지 눈치챘어?
It's all coming through the window.
창문을 통해
I'm
빛이
pretty
들어와.
sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom. Not
여기가
like-
호수가 아닌 건가?
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangletower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
뭘까?
Do these puddles worry you?
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
I see your point. Gives off kind of a dungeon vibe.
What do people actually use chains for?
사람들은 실제로 쇠사슬을 어디에 써?
Nothing good.
어디에 써요?
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
There's a roll of paper up there.
위에 종이를 말아뒀어.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
펼쳐보자.
The Grand Hall.
리스티드 저택.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
연구실?
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
잠깐만. 이게 뭐야? 옥상 정원이고.
Storage.
It's Freya's room.
프레이야 방이 창고였어?
The library.
A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it?
피피방?
A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. The rooftop garden. That name makes a little more sense in this context.
아, 원래 집 구조는 이거였구나.
That's the room we're in now. It must be. It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
I think it already existed when this was made.
이게 그러니까
It's the aviary.
회장,
Music room.
음악실.
This seems pretty significant.
이게 원래 집 구조인가 봐요.
Agreed.
계획도가 그려진 양피지. 대저택의 건축 계획도이다. 수평선은 과거 호수의 수위이며 두 번째 표시는 현재 수위이다. 저택은 기둥이 지탱하는 호수 위 큰 구조물 위에 지어졌다. 플레이어방은 창고라고 적혀있다. 중심부에 연구실이라고 적혀있는 방이 있다. 여기 안 가봤죠?
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
연구실 찾아보죠.
Wow.
뭐야?
It's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
우리가 밑에서 얼마나 있었지? 여긴가?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on. It's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
눌러봐. 사다리가 나오네요?
A ladder.
Want to go up? 숨겨진 심장부. 깜짝아. 아유 놀래라. 아유.
It's a wooden pinboard,
나무로 된 메모판이야.
hung up on one of the chains.
해서슬에 걸려 있어.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
중앙에 큰 종이가 붙여져 있다. 중앙에 빈 곳에서 세 개의 선이 그려져 나와 있다. 아래에 망토를 입은 실루엣으로 보이는 작은 그림이 있다.
An axe and some kind of hunting
도끼,
rifle.
사냥용
mounted on the
소총이
wall.
벽에 걸려 있어.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
세 번째 무기?
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using
분명
this
누군가 이
room.
방을 쓰고 있어.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
다섯 번째 대표자를 찾았다. 드디어 그다지 기대는 하지 않았지만 역시 실망하고 말았다. 나머지와 다를 바가 없어. 내 미스티드 친구를 실험을 위해 음악실로 데려갔다. 성공적이었다. 어쩌면 너무도 실험실조차 실망을 안겨줬다. 무엇 때문에 그 노력을 들인 거지? 그는 내가 생각한 것보다 훨씬 근시안이었다. 지하에 갔다. 전망이 좋다. 대부분 사라진 상태지만 내가 원하는 것은 얻었다. 그녀가 들어왔었다. 조심해서 아무것도 움직인 것은 없다. 하지만 난 알지. 때가 왔다. 뭔 소리야?
An incinerator built.
벽
into the
안에
wall.
지어진 소각로.
It's still pretty hot.
뭘 태웠나?
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
뭔가 있다. 불에 탄 물건들. 잿더미 속에 검은 버튼이 몇 개 있다. 버튼? 단추 같은데? 빨간색의 천 조각이 아직 보인다. 에?
Someone's been using this room.
연구?
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But
원래
nowadays it's some big
연구실이었죠?
secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
뭐야? 잠깐만. 취소가 안 돼. 아이고. 제가 봤을 때는 비밀 연구물, 메모판, 이 메모판에 붙은 그림이 이거랑 흡사해요. 딱 요렇게 생겼음. 근데 이렇게 생긴 사람은 학샤인데? 딱인데? 아.
That doesn't
We
seem
need something that could attach.
메모판에 붙일 만한 거? 아, 뭐야. 뭐야. 아. 아니 어째서 내용이 이렇게 가는 거지? 탐지?
That's not right. We're looking for a piece of lined
우리가
paper
찾는 건
ripped from a ring-bound notebook.
링으로 묶은 공책에서 뜯긴 줄이 그어져 있는 종이야. 링으로 묶은 공책에서 뜯긴 줄이 그어져 있는.
I think it might have been found with a couple of other items.
공책? 이거? 노트?
That's definitely the right kind of paper. But none of the pages match up to what's on the pinboard.
그 어떤 페이지도 메모판에 있던 것과 일치하지 않아. 어쩌라는 걸까? 아, 이건가? 확시야. 이거. 아니, 이게 왜
From Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference.
확시야가 뭐
And
있나?
as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. We still don't know what's really going on.
아직 그걸 몰라요. 그걸 모르지.
That's how we got in. It leads down into the Great Hall.
Doesn't look like there's any other way to get in or out.
확시한테 가서 물어봐야 되나? 왜 이렇게 아 이제 밤이 되었네?
Let's not wander off right now.
지금은 돌아다니지 말자.
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
이건 뭘까?
Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
숙제 다 했냐고요? 지금 몇 시지? 4시 57분이네요? 네. 할 건 다 한 것 같아요.
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much.
원신을 안 한 것 같긴 한데
Their eyes have all been
괜찮아요.
tossed out.
단단한 나무 액자 속 사진. 먼지 투성이면 오래된 것 같다. 여기 보니까 액자 밑에 노쇠판에 적힌 것은 미스티드 저택의 대표자들. 사진 속에는 2명의 여성과 3명의 남성이 다양한 스타일의 옷을 입고 있다. 5명 모두의 얼굴이 까맣게 잉크칠이 되어 있다. 단체 사진이 추가가 되었네요. 미스티드 저택의 대표자들이라고 되어 있네? 일단은 추측은 속으로만 해주세요.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
다섯 사람.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy.
Poppy.
But her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix.
맨 처음 오른쪽 맨 위에 있는 남자는 펠릭스라고 생각했는데 그 남은 세 개를 모르겠네요.
But now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
지금 보니까 그가 아닌 것 같아. 아직도 뭔가 더 있나?
Nice chair.
It's still warm.
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe.
Watch out. Floor's wet.
아,
Thanks.
이건 물이구나.
Crumpled up paper.
구겨진 종이.
Is there anything written on any of it?
Not really. It's mostly blank. Is that a crab?
이거 약간 그 메타몽 닮은 개 장난감 이거 닮지 않았어요?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
생물체의 팔다리를 회전할 수 있고 집게발은 열거나 닫을 수 있어. 어? 어머 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 어머. 어머 어머 어머. 뭐랑 닮았다는 거야? 어? 힌트를 보자.
I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need to guess.
이건 우리의 추측이 필요 없어.
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
사건 파일을 보고
This
올까?
crab really reminds me of something.
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
자, 이거 말하는 건가? 영혼 전달자. 이대로 만들어 봐야 되나? 이대로 만들어 보죠.
Is that a crab?
It's got a
Also, I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need to guess.
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
Nothing.
I'm sure I've seen this thing somewhere before.
이건가?
Nope.
Wasn't this crab in that book we found?
The children's book?
아니, 보고 왔는데 이건가?
Nope.
Wasn't this crab in that
The
book?
children's book?
이렇게 꺾여 있었고 이렇게 펼치고 있었던 것 같은데.
Nope.
Wasn't this crab
The
in...
children's book?
잘못 봤나?
This crab really...
That-
Yeah, but I think I've seen it more recently.
아, 팔을 한 번 꺾었네. 얘는 두 번 꺾고 위쪽으로 펼치고 다리를 이렇게 일자로 만들어야 되네. 이렇게.
Is that a...
It's got
Also,
올리고 또 이렇게 일자로 올리고 다리 한번 꺾고 꺾고 이건가?
I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need to guess.
What do you
We
mean?
have all the information we need in our case.
아!
Nothing.
반응이
Sure,
없대.
I've seen this thing somewhere.
이건가?
Perfect.
아! 이거구만. 아. 집 개발 벌렸.
What's this?
석궁이네요.
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
어서 오세요. 자, 보자. 거의 진상에 다다른 것 같기도 한데. 무기.
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
이미 찾았잖아.
We found them already.
여기에는 금속 막대가 있어야 되고 여기는 감개가 있어야 되고 구겨진 종이? 는 아닌 것 같고 이거? 편지?
That doesn't.
We need something that could
석궁에 붙일 만한 게 필요해. 불에 탄 물건인가?
Let's think about it. What might attach to the top of a gun?
총의 맨 위에는 뭐가 붙어 있지?
I don't know. Sights? Some kind of scope?
Right.
아! 망원경. 헐.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon.
잠깐, 근데 저 망원경은 학샷 건데.
But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Time to solve this.
이제 해결하자고. 살인 음모.
All right. Break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound.
이건 석공의 화살이야. 그리고 프레야의 자상과도 일치하지.
It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
이건 살인 무기야.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden.
피는 씻겨졌다. 그 뒤 숨겨진 거고?
I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow.
가정을 해보자. 프레야는 석궁에 맞았어.
Where was it fired from?
석궁은 어디서 쐈을까? 나는 위에서 쐈다고 보는 게 맞겠죠.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
오케이. 다락방이 있었죠.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up.
말이 안 돼?
We've missed her. If she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
프레야는 이미 누워있는 상태였어.
Freya was already lying on her back.
화살이 발사되기
before the arrow
전에.
was fired.
I think so too.
뭘까? 그녀는 이미 살해당한 뒤였나?
She'd already been killed.
You think so?
Maybe not.
Freya was already lying on her back.
잠깐.
Before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
그녀는 쉬고 있었어?
She was relaxing.
You think so?
Maybe not.
Freya was already lying on her back. Before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
의식이 없는 상태였어? 왜?
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
축음기?
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
축음기 안에 뭔가 있었어?
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
설마... 작은 무언가라는 게... 금이 간 유리 조각. 그러니까 이 유리 조각인가?
That's not it.
아니 그 뭐야. 에? 열매? 추금기 안에 들어있던 건 열매인가?
That's not it.
이 안에 뭐 있었지? 프레이야에 물감이 들어있다고요?
That's not it.
그건 아닌가 봐요. 혼상된 테이프.
That's not it.
난리 났군. 구겨진 종이?
That's not it.
뭘까? 뭐 때문에 의식이 불명됐을까? 물에 탄 물건?
That's not it.
전혀 모르겠는걸? 금속 막대가 어딨죠? 이거?
That's not it.
추금기 안에 들어있던 거는 금이 간 테이프 아니었나? 살인 사건 당시일 수 있다. 이거
That's not it.
에? 어서 오세요. 혹이 빈 알?
That's not it.
뭐야? 저녁 오종사?
That's not it.
구겨진 종이?
That's not it.
뭐가 있었는데? 헛꿈?
That's not it.
지금 안 한 거 뭐 있지? 색칠된 조각상?
That's not it. That's not it.
붓과 팔레트가 있었다고요? 추금기 안에?
That's not it.
렌즈?
That's not it.
아, 뭐야? 되는 게 없는데? 내가 뭘 안 했지?
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
되는 게 없는데? 감개?
That's not it. That's not it.
아니, 다 해봤는데?
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
되는 게 없는데?
That's not it.
아, 처음부터 다시 해봐.
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
아, 설마 딱정벌레 도표?
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone.
왜?
Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The hornet's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
하피?
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too.
플로라 역시 쓰러져 있는 걸 봤다고 했어.
I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
강력한 주파수에 영향받았던 것? 축음기? 깨진 거?
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously
음파
powerful
때문에
vibration.
유리가 금가는 거 뭐 있을 수 있는 일이죠.
Enough to crack metal. Enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
살인자는 자신을 보호했어.
They protected themselves.
How?
귀마개.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
귀마개를 쓰고 있다.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah, what triggered it at that particular moment?
딱정벌레는 어떻게 딱 그 시각에 소리를 냈지?
Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it. There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
플로라의 탑으로 가자.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
I can see the stars.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
해답은 그림 속에 있어. 뭐?
It's dark.
탑을 다시 확인해 보자.
The plant.
식물.
It's in the book.
What?
Look.
얼룩새는 놀랍도록 똑똑한 새로 조류 미스티드 중에서도 수명이 굉장히 길다. 다른 새들은 종종 얼룩새에게 공격적인 성향을 보인다. 따라서 얼룩새는 대부분의 생애를 홀로 보낸다. 이 새는 독특한 먹이 섭취 특성을 가지고 있는데 보통 탄툼 아미카의 열매만을 먹는다.
It's dark. It's dark.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
빠진 단서.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she
깃털이요.
was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
우리는 결국 못 찾았어.
We never found it.
You sure about that?
Not entirely.
뭐야, 찾았다고?
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here, in this room. Where'd it go?
다른 곳에서?
We found it somewhere else.
That's not it.
아, 어린이 책에 있었나?
That's not it.
아니, 젠장. 아! 이게 그 깃털이구나, 참.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene and ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and
그
then
다음에는?
the murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
끝내지 못한 그림.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it, then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
프레야는 자기가 그릴 그림의 계획을 어떻게 보여줬을까?
That's not it.
피? 프레야의 물감?
That's not it.
어? 붓과 팔레트?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
색칠을 사용할 모든 색을 미리 준비했지. 그림을 시작하기 전에. 그렇네. 노란색은 없네. 노란 물감은 창문에 앉아있던 무언가?
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
노란색의 무언가 플로라의 탑 창문에 있는 것은
There she is, our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did.
에?
But she's a very good listener.
저건 페넬로페의 새잖아요. 뭐야, 얜 또 언제 왔어?
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
뭐야?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind.
페넬로페라고?
But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
먹지 않고 두자.
I'm afraid I have to insist. It's to the benefit of us all, I assure you.
그녀의 손을 묶을 만큼 튼튼한 것. 암개.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
전 그냥 진실을 추구합니다.
I just need to know the truth.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
엥?
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy, the volition to create something from nothing, the willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
페넬로페 포인터는 진짜로 누구인지 전혀 모르겠어요.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at 탱클타워, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed, unearthed every single one of our secrets, nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer?
그녀는 외로운 사람입니다.
Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after. Living at 탱클타워, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
뭔 소리지 이게?
You sure this is a 탱클타워 thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them.
아니 그러니까 그 새 전문가 있잖아요. 걔가 학샤인 척하고 돌아다닌 거였어.
I have no place here. Not among the fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers.
뭔가 좀 지금 약간 머리가 좀 아파요.
But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left.
갑자기 지금
Some common purpose they all shared.
없이 얘가 나타나서 학샤가 본인이다 라고 지금 하고 있는
Perhaps
거니까.
it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got.
한 가지 알 수 있는 거는 이게 완성되지 못한 그림이었는데 이게 페넬로페가 기르던 노란 새라는 거를 알고 나니까 얘가 온 거거든요?
Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
연구실?
The study, the one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to her bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night, deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end, the paint would peel, wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through.
아, 그래서 프레야 왜
Eventually, I couldn't
죽였냐고.
take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
미스티드 저택의 시대.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
뭐죠?
What?
As I expected. After all, their connection to the Freya case is minimal, at least at the surface.
Sorry, what are we talking
진짜
about?
뭔 소리
It's a
하는지.
collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
변변이?
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
단체 사진? 미스티드 저택의 대표자들? 이거야?
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tango Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study.
아니
The
프레야
room
왜
at the bottom
죽였냐고.
of the lake, the lake itself. All empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts. The creatures themselves, all lost. Taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose, but they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangled Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
절급한 건축학자.
There was only one person at Tangled Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
연구물?
That's not right.
아니라고? 노트?
That's not it.
미스티드 저택의 시대로부터 포인터 교수가 찾은 딱정벌레.
So where did he get the beetle?
딱정벌레.
Cannot be sure. But I theorized that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangled Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen.
지금 이해가 잘 안 되고 있어요.
Ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and
확샤는 본인이었죠.
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
She carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did
fre야는
you
왜
kill
죽였죠?
Freya?
프레이야 펠로우의 유언. 유언?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Yes.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona.
Fiona?
The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of her room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them.
뭔 소리야 이게?
Worked on you too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
설마? Huh?
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
엥?
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw
헨리를
you?
좋아하고 있었다고?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge.
와, 근데
I proved
그래도
to be an ineffective
모든 걸
guard.
다
She took the
알려주고.
boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
오!
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
못 갖고 갔네?
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
뭐야 이게? 나는 지금까지 뭘 위해서 그래서 프레야 왜 죽였냐고. 아니 잘못한 것도 없고 뭐 왜 죽였냐고. 이게 뭐야? 엔딩이 되게 허무하다. 왜 플로라는 애초에 아예 아무 말도 안 하고 끝났네요. 아니 엔딩이 되게 급속도로 이게 뭘까? 엔딩 되게 허무하게 끝났는데 아무튼 범인은 잡히지도 않고 도망친 채로 그저 이제 황금 딱정벌레는 살았다. 근데 프레이야를 죽인 이유에 대해서는 결정적으로 뭔가 프레이야가 잘못한 것도 없는데 그저 그냥 본인의 그 비밀을 프레야가 알게 되었다는 이유로 죽인 거겠죠? 딱정벌레를 구해서 풀어주고 싶었는데 그 연구실을 찾으려다가 페넬로페의 그 실험실을 먼저 발견해버려가지고 모르겠다. 일단은 탱클타워 이렇게 엔딩이 났고요. 엔딩이 굳이 이랬어야 했나? 너무 아쉽다. 아무튼 엔딩 봤네요. 여기까지 하죠. 탱클타워였습니다.